This is lesson 94. It is called Graphing Pairs of Inequalities on a Number Line. A pair, remember, is two numbers, so we will be graphing two numbers on the same number line. Just as a review, we have four different inequality symbols. We have greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. So there are two types of questions that you will see in this lesson. The first one would be something like S is greater than 2 and less than 8. So when we have this and here, that means that we can put our variable in the middle. We want S to be greater than 2. So we can say that S is greater than 2, right? S is greater than 2. We can also read this as 2 is less than S, right? But usually we start with the variable and read that way. So S is greater than 2. And we want S to be less than 8. So S is less than 8. You could also write it as two separate inequalities. S is greater than 2 and S is less than 8. But when we see this and here, that's how we know we write it as 1. So if we wanted to graph this on a number line, we would have 0, 2, 6, 7, 8. All right, because it is regular greater than and less than, those are going to be our open circles. All right, if S is greater than 2, I'm going to be shading this way. And I want S to be less than 8, which means I'm going to shade this way. So if I combined those, I would be shading between my two circles. It's very important that they are open circles. So we can add that note up here. It's an open circle on our graph. All right, the other kind of inequality that we might see is an or inequality. So we want T is less than 40, so I would write T is less than 40, or T is greater than 100, so T is greater than 100. The or means that we're going to shade on the outside of our number line. So let's say I have 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. All right, again, these are open circles. So I'm going to put an open circle at 40 and an open circle at 100. I'm just going to make this a little bigger here. All right, we want T to be less than 40, so we're going to shade less than, would be to the left here. And I want T to be greater than 100, so I'm going to shade out the other end here. So if I have an and, I'm going to shade in between the numbers. And if I have an or, I'm going to shade on the outside of the numbers. All right, let's do a few more practice problems. All right, number 1, -5 is less than x, which is less than 6. Okay, so this is going to be an and because it is written as one giant sentence here. All right, so if I draw my number line, I have -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and I can go all the way up to 6. All right, so I'm gonna have an open circle at -5 and an open circle at 6. When I'm reading these, I always start with the variable. So I want x to be greater than -5. So these numbers are greater than -5. I also want x to be less than 6. These numbers are less than 6. Because it's an and, I'm going to be shading right here in the middle. All right, question 2. I have 2 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 7. Oops, sorry, there's a glare on that. Okay. Again, this is an and because it's written as one long sentence. So I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, this is less, or if I read it from the x is greater than or equal to 2. So I'm going to do a closed circle there. And I also want x to be less than 7. So this is an open circle. All right, greater than 2 is that way, less than 7 is that way. So I'm going to shade in between them. All right, question 3. I have x is less than or equal to -6, or x is greater than or equal to positive 6. So if I draw my number line, I can do my numbers. These are both or equal to, so they're going to be closed circles. And I want x to be less than or equal to negative 6. Well, less than is out to the end here. And I want, or x is greater than or equal to positive 6. So again, this one's out the end. The ors go out the ends of our number line. All right, number 4, x is less than 1 or x is greater than 3. All right, draw my number line, 0, 1, 2, 3. These are both less than or greater than, so they're going to be open circles. I want x to be less than 1. It's going to go out this end. I want x to be greater than 3. That's going to go out this end. All right, and my last question here. 0 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 7. This is going to be an and. All right, so we can do negative 7, 0, 7. I have an open circle at 0 and a closed circle at 7. I want x to be greater than 0, so I'm going to shade this way. I want x to be less than or equal to 7, so I'm going to shade in between my circles. If you would like some additional practice, you can do the practice set for lesson 94 on page 631. See you later.